Nicole Caldwell, and I'm Executive Director, Co-founder, and owner of Better Farm. I think of it as a sustainability education center where people can come and learn about basic sustainability issues. Essentially ways to just live greener or closer to the earth. It's kind of a living lab. People can come and take workshops or stay for longer periods of time to compost and learn how to build with green materials, renovate with green materials, be more energy efficient in their daily lives, learn a little bit about ecology, outdoor survival. We kind of custom tailor our education system to what people are interested in. So whether that's rainwater catchment or bugs, everything can kind of be specified for a specific person. I think people are kind of scared and nervous. And I think for me, learning about the basic tenet of sustainability, which is that you can repeat one action indefinitely, was like this very eye-opening, obvious thought though for me, because it's like, well, nothing that we do is sustainable in this culture. Nothing. We live in a very kind of ethereal, made-up place of jobs and the rat race and all these things, and we've lost sight of like the natural systems, you know, and what sustainability really is. And so I think people are looking for that. So they find us. We've had people as young as 16 and as old as mid-70s. We've had mothers come with their children. By and large, it's college students who are interested in sustainability issues or who just have that as an interest. Maybe they're not specifically studying it. You know, you have people showing up from all over the world and then sitting down at the kitchen table together and just talking about their ideas or what they're working on or what their project is going to be. And they're all there to support one another and work on it. It's so reassuring to see that there are people from all walks of life who are also interested in this stuff. People who are like, well, I kind of would like to know how to take care of myself in like a real way. And it's not just about having a good job or going to the right college anymore. It's like wanting to feed yourself and be healthy, you know, to know what's in your food and to not take more than you're giving back. What used to seem kind of hippy-dippy is now like practical. Like it makes sense to grow your own food that doesn't have pesticides and hasn't come from like 3 countries away, you know, and it makes sense to want your meat to be free range, and it makes sense to not want to just suck off of the grid. I grew up in New Jersey and went to school in Massachusetts and then went to graduate school at Columbia, New York City for journalism. I worked for a couple different publications, and I had a cubicle and I had a desk and I had my little apartment that I could barely afford. And I was, I guess, 27 years old, and my uncle who owned this house passed away. And when he passed away, he left me the house and the property. It was a commune in the 70s. This was a little town of 500 people, and in marched all of these hippies out of New Jersey and downstate and all over the place. And this was the multicolored house. I think that what sets this apart right now, and like, I don't mean to say that people didn't have intention when they were having like the whole hippie movement, but I feel like people are coming here for purpose. People are not coming here to escape society. People, in fact, are coming here to acquire tools to then give back to society. It's no longer this escapist mentality. It's been like this total, it's like from living for the weekend to every day being like this exciting thing where you're like, I'm doing something that I feel really good about, and I'm like teaching it to other people and sharing it with other people. So it's like the most gratifying life change, but it was like such a scary risk when you're sitting in your apartment you can barely afford and you're like, how am I going to take care of a 65-acre property 6 hours away? Like, what am I supposed to do? You know, it was terrifying. And then like you look back in hindsight and you're like, well, I really couldn't have done it any other way. And what I told myself at the end of the day was, if everything falls apart and I can't make this work up here, or I decide I hate it, the worst thing that happens is that I go back to the city and get another desk job. The more self-sufficient I become and the more I know how to fix things and build things and grow things, the less I want to be detached from that. So now, even when I go down to visit and everything, it's weird to wake up and to not go feed the birds and like check on the garden or, you know, feed the fish in the aquaponics, to not have like farm chores is weird. If I go somewhere now and there's no compost bin, I feel lost. You know, like it just feels so right once you get into it that it's like I could never go back to working in a cubicle in some office building in Manhattan. It would just feel so empty to me. I would feel like a wild animal in a cage. We are growing enough food in the garden in the summer to feed a house size of approximately 14 people, give or take, from roughly early July when things start to come in to early November. We don't really have to buy any produce. The aquaponics inside is providing us with enough salad greens through the winter months when there are only a few of us here, and also supplementing the herb gardens in the summertime with salad greens. I mean, you can live in the tiniest apartment in Manhattan and you could have an aquaponic garden. You can have a vertical garden on your kitchen wall facing a window. You can volunteer at a community garden and make like a neighborhood plan to grow enough food to feed that neighborhood for X amount of days every year or something, like different goals. I mean, maybe it's that you just start a little compost bin. Maybe it's that you swap out all your light bulbs, and maybe it's that you move to the country and make less money and live more simply, and you earn, spiritual currency because you're not making beaucoup dollars at some desk job, but you suddenly have time to spend with the people you love. Even if it's not going to change everything, it changes everything right here, And I feel like, that's all anybody has ever done anyhow. You don't not do something because it doesn't change everything. You do it because it is so vital and matters so much to these littler systems.